A few days ago, I painted a look so beautiful it revived my will to live. And I want to see how close we can get to recreating it. This was her. Smoked out, it feels a little bit 90s to me. The lashes are fabulous, the shadow's pretty good, the eye shape's pretty good. I'm on board with a lot of this. So we're gonna try and recreate her. I'm always doing my brows first because if I can't get the brows right, then nothing's gonna go well. So sometimes I even do a whole brow and then wipe it off and do another whole brow. But hopefully we won't be doing that today. I usually use some shades from the Made by Mitchell Brow Sludge Box. I love the formulas of these. They're pretty easy to work with. I've been using this for a long time and I still have some questions about it. First of all, the shade range. So we have, this is like a black. This is a cool toned mid-range brown. This is a really warm reddish brown, like a chocolatey rich reddish brown. This one is somewhere in between these two. This one, I wish it were paler. It's supposed to be like a blonde color, and I do use her all the time, but we have questions. This is forest green. This is the color of my robe, like a dark purpley blue color. I think this is like a blue black, maybe. I don't know what that is. This is a very unique shade of red I have yet to encounter anywhere else. This is like a grayish brown. I've always wondered why we have these greens and blues and reds in here. And I thought maybe it was for people who have like colored hair and they do brows to match their hair. But usually those shades are like vibrant pastel-y colors. So I feel like these are supposed to be used for mixing specific shades. I don't know what's happening. But Mitchell, Miss Made By, if I may, please explain. I think this is the only shade range they have. It's not enough for me because I'm never using these. I wish instead of these colors, we had 4 lighter shades because this is not nearly light enough. What I like about the brows here, I like how light they are. I like that they don't stand out with a high contrast against the foundation like that. I do want to tweak the shape a little bit, and I do want to see a little bit of just the tiniest amount of a thicker beginning of the brow. I can't do this on camera because I look like this. So, one moment. In the moment, I'm not mad at these brows. I might come back later and feel like they're a little bit too thick, but this is what we're going with. This eye, loved this eye, and thankfully I made a video of me doing it like as a tutorial, which by the way is half the reason I make those, so I can remember how I did stuff to do it better next time or whatever. I'm gonna use the Ellis Atlantis Blend Bunny palette. This is one of my favorite palettes of all time, if not my favorite. Since she sent me this, I think I've used it almost every single day. There's gorgeous shimmer shades in the middle. It's got a deep, rich, opaque black. Sometimes it's hard to find a black eyeshadow that's black, you know? But this is a great one. We've got some gray shades in here, and if you've ever tried to find a gray shade in an eyeshadow palette, you know how hard that can be. I looked for them for years, couldn't find them. These brown shades work beautifully on me. The bright vivids, come on, love it. And I just heard that she has a new collection coming out with Blend Bunny, and she's sending it. Could not be more thrilled. That first collection was so fabulous. The bottom lashes in that collection, both of the blush palettes, fabulous. Specifically, this pink right here, it's showing up almost white on camera. It's so pale of a pink. It seems to me that the blush palettes have a blurring effect. That could just be me, but that has been my experience. And I don't know what she could be doing in the second collection. Ever since I heard about it and she said she was sending it, I have intentionally avoided all the promotional stuff for this new collection because I want to be surprised. Most of the brushes I use are P. Louise brushes. I splurged and got like one of their giant packs of a full set of brushes a few years ago, and it was a fabulous investment. Very glad I did that. For a long time, I would save my black shadow for last because one of the rules of makeup, I don't know who makes the rules, but somebody made the rule that you're not supposed to put black on first, you're supposed to do black last, which maybe that works for going to the Kroger or whatever, but I could never figure out how to get enough pigment if I did the black last, so I usually start with black. Is that alright? By the way, have you noticed? You can see me and hear me. What a revelation! Fabulous news on a personal note. I got a laptop. My laptop died 8 to 10 years ago. I know, don't get started with me. So I've just been using this iPad and I just needed more editing capabilities. I needed a bunch of stuff. So I finally bought a laptop. Wait, I got the iPad, I got the MacBook Air. This is the bigger one. I think it's 15 inches and I got it in that shade that everybody's mad about. I think they call it Midnight. In some lights it looks dark blue and in some lights it looks black. And a lot of people have feelings about this because apparently this one keeps fingerprints really bad on the outside of it. So everybody else that was there buying a MacBook was buying any other color but that one. But that's the one I wanted. I mixed a little bit of the shades Muse and Descend, those two medium tone brown colors, and I'm using that to start buffing out the edges of this black. Lately, my mission statement for blending has been blend the edges until they disappear and then add another color. And that's been going quite well, actually. Turns out if you blend stuff, it actually looks blended. Who would have thunk? Let's paint on some skin, shall we? I'm using the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear in Oslo. And there are a few things that have greatly improved my base routine. One of them, I stopped using foundations that would dry down because I'm sitting here doing this for a while. I got a lot of steps that need to happen. And I used to only use foundations that would dry down because my skin is so oily. I thought that was going to be like the solution. It was not. Because when you're sitting here painting forever and the base routine has a lot of steps, if you're trying to paint concealer or contour, cream contour, whatever, on top of a product that has dried down, she's gonna start cracking, she's gonna get cakey, she's gonna start peeling off. And I am so pleased to let you know that the Natural Radiant Longwear, she doesn't seem to dry down at all. And my makeup also improved a lot when I stopped using beauty blenders. I was a strictly beauty blender person for so long, but I finally started switching to brushes, and it was one of the best decisions I've ever made. I want a full coverage, and beauty blenders, even when you soak them with water and do whatever you're supposed to do, they just eat up so much of the product that every time I go in to blend something, it's sucking up just a little bit more of that product, and I couldn't get the full coverage that I was looking for. This is a brush I splurged on. She's not cheap. She's the Makeup by Mario F4, but for me, she was well worth it, and if I lost this brush today, I would buy a new one tomorrow. The trick I've learned with using brushes as opposed to a beauty blender, you start to get streaky stuff, first of all, if you're swiping or dragging, I'm tapping. 9 times out of 10, I'm tapping. But also when you start to get liquid products in here and the brush hairs start sticking together, like it's happening a little bit right here, that's gonna cause you issues. So I scrub it out. I just do like a couple circles this way, a couple circles that way, and then she's ready. And I'll do that a few times. Every time I apply more product, I'll do that again. After I've applied the product and need to blend it out, then I'll scrub, come back. What I will use a beauty blender for, however, I just got this new one. It's a Morphe one. I don't think I've ever used a Morphe one. I always just buy whatever's the cheapest. I will use it to soak up a little bit of this product up on my eyebrow area because this forehead has had no Botox. And so when I'm sitting here doing all this, I'll get crinkles in my forehead. So far, this is just concealer that I use to carve out the top of my brow. So I want to soak up a little bit of the product because I'm about to put more on there. And if we're creasing already, then there's definitely going to be too much product once I put everything on. So I'll take away a little of that concealer before I go in with a full coverage foundation. I recently tried a contouring shape that I haven't done in a long time, but it used to be my go-to, like my early days. This is what we were doing every time. And I stopped doing it for a long time, but I did it again the other day. Loved it. Where instead of just, I'll show you, hold on. And I'll start sculpting this cheek shape a little bit. This palette is really fabulous if warm tone stuff looks bad on you. Like if everything turns you orange, bronzers and contours and stuff like that. Almost all of them turn me orange. So these cooler tone ones, they're real fabulous. I would like to find some bronzers that work as well as this does, like powder traditional bronzers. I have the powder version of this. I have all the powder cases, and I do use them. I'm gonna use them today. The colors are fabulous. The formulas are nothing to write home about. Like they're fine, they get the job done, they don't go on patchy, but they don't have any kind of blurring effect, and that's what I'm looking for. You know, if I can sneak in a little bit more of a blurring effect anywhere, I'm gonna try and do that. And my cheeks don't have a ton of texture to them. Like you can see I have a little bit, but it's nothing super crazy. Like I don't have active acne happening in here or anything like that right now. Although I have, just not at the moment. At the moment, my little chin is mad. I don't want to talk about it. Don't ask. And then I'll take this darker shade. This is one of my favorite brushes. It's a Moda brush. It's the Moda BMX265 Glow. I don't know if that's the whole name. I don't know. It's a Moda brush. I think it was originally intended for like highlighter. I don't do highlighter on my cheeks. I don't do it ever. I stopped doing it 2021. 2020 because it just emphasizes texture, and for me, if I'm sitting here filming, it doesn't do enough for me to sacrifice that textural element. It's just not for me. Maybe I'll change my mind again one day. I don't know. I'm taking this on the little side of this. If I do this, you'll see some shadows. Watch. We got shadow right here, and we've got shadow right here. So I'm gonna kind of stamp in almost a little S shape. It goes up here, and then it's gonna flick down like that. Hold on, it looks crazy. Chill out. Chill out. Have y'all been watching King of Drag? If you haven't heard, there is a drag king competition show that's been happening. I think they just finished their they just finished their first season. Congratulations to the winner, King Molasses. I've watched some of the season. I haven't finished it yet. I was watching some videos of them performing. I think it was at like the premiere party for the last episode. It was something where the whole cast was together and they were doing stuff. This little number, love it. Love it. So hot. If you haven't watched the show, I highly recommend going to watch it because I would love to see this show get the chance to evolve and grow. I'm trying to do a little bit more blush towards the center of my face and then do my concealer over it. I don't know if that's me, but we're gonna try it. I gotta tell you, I'm really getting ready to have my face surgery again. Oh, I should have said this up at the top. If you're new, I have a birthmark, which is why my lip looks a little bit suspicious. It's pretty much the whole bottom of my jaw and my neck. And I've had a bunch of surgeries on it. I've been having surgeries on it since I was a small baby, and we're overdue for another surgery, but she needs surgery, and my jaw needs surgery, my throat needs surgery. Anytime I do one of these types of videos, I have to look at myself backwards a lot, where usually if I'm filming on my phone, you know, it shows you how you are in the mirror, and when I look at myself backwards, I can see my birthmark so prominently, and I'm really getting sick of it, and I'm ready to have some surgery on it again. But surgery costs money, and money is expensive. By the way, while we're talking about it, can we give it up for Miss Velvet Puff? If you have not tried blending out creams with a velvet puff, I would like for you to try it. First of all, I will recommend my favorite velvet puff. I think it's $8 from Sephora. It's the Sephora brand. It's my favorite because it has this little pocket that your finger goes into, as opposed to you can just slip your hand through here, and you have way better control over where the tip of this goes, which is great for blending out concealer. This is Huda Beauty whipped cream. I'm pretty sure this is their lightest shade. It's what's on my head. I didn't need to swatch that. It's this shade right here. Because I'm so pale, I have struggled to find concealers that give me as bright white as I want, as high of a contrast in terms of under eye right here. I want it really bright white. And it took me forever to figure out that if I do a color like this, and then I do a white powder on top to set it, this little one size in the stage white. I did the lips separately, so let's throw on some lashes real quick. I have really been loving, these are the Eldora B802 lashes. I've been loving them. They're like big, crazy, creative style lashes, but on me, they look pretty regular. Do you see? Let's just say Miss Secretary Bird has been on the vision board for quite some time. It's time for those Ellis Atlantis bottom lashes that I've been yammering on about. They don't look like anything too crazy in the packaging. I do 3 on each side, bottom lash, okay? Like they feel a little bit like just an extension of the eyeshadow with a little bit of spike. Let me do the other one. And as we discussed, I need to pop these white highlights because they're not serving bright white at the moment. They're serving light beige, one size stage white. On this little concealer brush, this is a Morphe concealer brush that I picked up recently because I needed a brush that was dense and would fit specifically between my eyebrows and right in the inner corner, and maybe just a small dot on the tip of the nose. You know, let me throw on some nails. What do we think? I have to say, I liked this look a lot better with that blue colored little robe. I need more stuff in that color. That was fabulous color. I'm not sure she's as close to this photo as I had intended, so we will be trying it again. Because one of the hardest things in makeup is recreating something the exact same every time, I feel like. The outer corners of these top lashes, I think I'm gonna glue them up higher next time. If I glued some of this lash to my actual wing of my liner, I think that might be really cute. We might try that next time. Thank you for joining me. I hope you had a fabulous time, and I hope you have a lovely day today. I hope you had a little iced coffee or a little matcha, or whatever you're drinking over there. I hope you relaxed, just chilled out for a few minutes, or maybe you're multitasking, doing your little business works. Whatever you're doing, if you like it, I love it, baby. Have a fabulous week, and Godspeed, darling.